Okay, now I'm going to use a scan gauge and start checking this out. And remember, if you want to, if you're in a bind, go down to AutoZone, get one of these. If you're not in a bind, you want to get one that's all pre-programmed where you don't have to enter the different items, just you can go to Bulletproof Diesel and get one. So again, our main inputs, FICM sync, FICM power, ICP, and IPR. ICP, we check key on, engine off, make sure it's not reading something from the beginning, and IPR, never hitting either. Now, key on, engine off doesn't count, but we never want it to be 15, we never want it to be 85. Again, another great thing with this scan gauge is it won't just be a diagnostic tool. This is going to prevent breakdowns. You can go down the road and you can start monitoring stuff like your FICM voltage, your injection pressure, your IPR, as far as like if you got a leak developing, if you got a pump that's going bad. If you kept this in your car and you monitored your IPR and just watched it, made sure it never hits 15 or 85%, you can tell if you're developing a problem. People ask me, hey Ron, am I going to be okay on vacation? Can you look at it? Well, I have to drive your truck and drive it for a while. Not only that, you can monitor engine oil temp, engine coolant temp. You can monitor VGT, see if your turbo's sticking. This has so many uses, and once we can make different videos and educate you on how to use it, this is great. This is actually one of the greatest things that I've come across because it's so inexpensive. $159 at AutoZone, and now you can diagnose your own car. But anyhow, I got off track. Sorry about that. But now, what we need to see on this one is the IPR never hitting 85%. If so, then we start looking at, do I have base oil pressure? Do I have a leak? So that's something else we're going to go to. My FICM M power, it's displayed as FMP at never dropping below 45 volts. My sync, right now it reads 0. On this scanner, it reads 1 when they're in sync. ICP, again, under 500 just to idle, up to 3,000 going down the road. So I'm going to watch. IPR, never 85. FICM sync, to read 1. FICM M power, never drop below 45. ICP gets above 500 PSI. As soon as that happens, it will start, as long as I don't have a fuel issue or something else going on. So I'm going to crank this one and see what we get. Okay, I've got my FICM power staying right there at 48. My ICP is 954, and my IPR is only duty cycling to 32% to achieve that. But my FICM sync is still 0. So I've got a no start because of FICM sync. We have this, we have something to go by. As far as we have the, we know what we're missing. If we were missing, if the IPR was hitting 85%, then we have either a leak or a bad IPR valve or a weak pump. 03, 04, weak pump. 05 and above, almost always a leak. It can be a pump. I'm not going to say it's not a pump. It's not ever a pump, but it is so rare to be a pump, I can almost say it's never a pump on an 05 and above. 03, 04, the pump most of the time. Usually it just got ran hard, towing, overheated, something else going on. So anyhow, if my, and also make sure that your ICP read 0, key on, engine off. Don't let that fool you by showing that that it was starting off with 200, 300, 500, 600 pounds, because then your IPR won't allow the pump to really build to that 500 PSI. I don't know if this is all making sense, but I'm trying to break it down to where it will. And also I'll show a few other things on the video here. But so anyhow, this one, we came up with something. We had no sync. If it's an 03, 04, and you have no sync, it's usually the wire loom. It's almost always with an 04, an issue with the wire loom. 05 and above, well, it's very rare that you get a sync problem with them on an 05 and above. It can be the loom. I'm not ever saying it's not going to be something, because we don't know when anything can happen. I'm just telling you probability. If it's an 03, 04, it's a wire loom. That's the issue. If it's a almost never. I know cam sensors were really common on the 7.3, and everybody still says, oh, it's a Powerstroke, it's a cam sensor. Legit wise, not too often. I've seen it. I've seen all of it because it's all I do, but it's not too often that you get it. So if you put a cam sensor or crank sensor in it, you still have it, then most likely, you know, you had a rare one that does it. Or if it was an 0304, you've put it in there, it's probably from moving the wire and caused it. I'm going to show you a way to check on the 0304, a common place to look or move the wire. It's best, of course, if you get somebody to be cranking it at the same time to do it. But let's go ahead and cover that area now on the car. Okay, again, going with the odds and just going with what I see. If it's an 03 or an 04 and you have no crank, you have no Fickum sync, it's almost always the wire loom, and you have your exhaust back pressure sensor up here, and you have the wire where it drops down to the cam sensor down here. And it's by far, that's the most common thing where they short out. So normally what I'll do is I'll come out here, I'll tug on the wire, lift up and down on it a few times just to move it, or I'll even go underneath and press on the cam sensor and see if it is, and see if that's my problem. The other common areas where it goes by the oil filter housing up here, that can do it, or on the Fickum. I always like to make sure that they're pushed in on the Fickum. So I'll go in and I'll check that. Now, if you do have an intermittent problem or something else going on here, another common thing that I'd like for you to start looking for is the bolt on the upper corner, not on the front, but on the upper top corner right down here. There should be a bolt. People will put studs in there, and that's also where your loom's coming across. So that stud will come up just like this is on your valve cover bolt, and the loom's resting on it, and it wears through it. Make sure that there's a bolt right there and somebody didn't put the wrong bolt in there. And again, I'm talking on the upper corner right up here, not the one that's in front, but very top right here. So make sure that. And then if the air filter is not installed right, or the wire loom where it drapes underneath the air filter here and goes over to your PCM, I'll see it where the air filter's underneath it pushing on it and it's rubbed through. So make sure your main wire loom is behind your air filter. So if you reach back here and do this, then you can find out, make sure your loom's not bad. Because almost always when you lose Fickum sync, I mean, it can be the Fickum, it can be other things too. I'm just trying to tell you guys probability, what to look for, what's going on. But now we've narrowed it down, we have no Fickum sync. So again, tug on the wires, check on it, and once that happens, go back to, and if I'm just touching it, made a difference, so let's go ahead and try to start it. Okay, when they do this, when they start afterwards, most likely you have a wire loom problem. Especially if that's all you've done. So what I did, since it started, I want to come out and try to reintroduce or try to get this problem to come back up. That's why I was shaking on it, push on it. Mostly try to push on it, because you want to, if the wires most likely, they're not broken, almost hardly, they hardly ever break. It's usually shorted. And short means that this power started here, it didn't make it to the end point, it shorted somewhere to ground. So if you have it, then that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to take it and push back on the wire loom so it makes contact and get it to stall again. So I'll try to do that, but almost always if it acts like this, you've got a wire loom issue. So that's pretty much covers it here when you have a Fickum sync problem. Again, going back over, if it was a ICP issue, you want to first check it key on, engine off, see what it reads, and then see what it builds up to. But because we had the IPR build up to the 500, well, actually built up to what, 900 there, without having only a 34% duty cycle. So it's only working a third as hard as it has to achieve that pressure. We don't have a problem with the pump. If you did, remember, if you have an 03, 04, probably the pump. It could be an IPR. IPR valves are 20% of the time, right through. It doesn't matter if it's an 03 or a 2010 van. IPR valves can be it. You want to take your IPR valve off, and you want to look at your screen, especially, again, knowing the history. If somebody's worked on the oil cooler, or they had the valve cover off, or they've worked on the injectors or anything else, you've had a issue with the IPR screen being contaminated or cracked, then you have to go after your IPR valve. Or if you have to test one, try that first, of course. We also air leak these. Those videos are easily also on YouTube, or I can make the video showing you how to air leak test it. There's different things. I'm trying to just go through with the crank nose start, what's going on, how to diagnose that, and then we'll cover all the little areas individually. So let's say I didn't have, and I'm going to just try to do other scenarios for what we can do at home or what else you can check, because so far I did mention a few things that can also be causing it. That's really rare. You can have everything be right. You can have ICP, you can have IPR, you can have FICM M-Power good. You can hear the pre-cycle. Remember, you got to use all your senses. Make sure you're listening, because you can get no codes, check everything, and the computer sent the command out, but the injectors, you don't have the clatter. Again, because if they seize or something else is going on. So use all your senses. That's why I'm showing. Listen for the clatter, do that. So everything's right, everything. There's also the rare one when the injector's tips crack, and it'll push your fuel back. So, but usually they'll start and they'll run. They'll miss like on one cylinder, then because it's one side. So let's say that number 4 is bad over here. So it'll start missing on number 4, but as that compression's coming up, taking that fuel, it pushes the fuel back and out. Normally they still start, but I'll still cover it because I've had people tell me everything's right and all that. I'll get the truck, I'll go there, look at it, or tow it in, and I'll look at it and I'll see it. And they normally start, but they die. And then they may not start for an hour or two because, again, the compression's taking the fuel. Of course, compression has more power than 40, 50, 60 pounds of fuel pressure, and it'll push it out of the bowl and dry one side out, and they don't want to start. But I'll show you a way to check for that. It's not 100%, but if it's all what you have at home, it's still something that we can look for. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now to look for that, and also if you don't hear your fuel pump going, check your fuel bowl anyways.